There are so many types of biosensors. What signal we are getting and how we are transmitting it, depending upon the case, there are so many types of biosensors. They are classified based on the transducers and the biorecognition elements, the mainly transducer and the receptor. Based on this, we can classify them. Based on the transducer, it is named as electrochemical. Electrochemical, that is chemically, because of the chemical change, there are some electrical modifications. This is what we call it as electrochemical changes. In this case, like you see here, amperometric, potentiometric, impediometric. Here, if there is a current change, because of the input, input, we call it as amperometric. If there is a potential change, another one is impedance change. These are all depending upon the circuit what we are using it. This is what electrochemical. Another one is optically, that is with the use of light. Even outside light we can allow it. The reflected light absorbs the light. This is what we are using photocatalytic properties. Everywhere commonly we are using it in all like photocatalytic properties. The optical energy can be used for sensing, biosensing. Here all other phenomena, the just absorption, reflection, refraction, transmission, surface plasma. It is also one of the things. The nanomaterials. Suppose if the particle is in nanomaterial, there is a plasmonic waves. The plasmonic waves also can change depending on the environment. It's ambient. From this also we can sense the like fluorescence and other things. Calorimetric, that is a temperature variation. Piezoelectric, it is also another one thing. Piezoelectric and thermoelectric, these are all mainly used nowadays. Is attractive. Piezoelectric things means is here. Suppose just they can paste some film, so just like a sellotape or like a band-aid, they can paste on our body. It is a piezoelectric material. Depending on our pressure, blood pressure, or any other changes, some piezoelectric material can generate signal. The signal can be easily trapped and analyzed. This is what piezoelectric. In the body, vibration, blood pressure, everything. Like this thermoelectric. Suppose is here, if the temperature monitoring is very easy, just you can paste some of the tape. It continuously it can monitor the heat. It is comparing the ambient temperature, outside temperature, it can give the difference, thermoelectric. This is based on the transducer, and also based on the elements. There are so many things like enzymatic sensor, DNA sensor, RNA sensor, RNA like biosensor, immunosensors, like using antibody, antigens, and biomarkers. Whole cell sensor, microbial biosensors, etc. These are all depending upon the recognition elements we can have it. In case of electrochemical sensors, as I told earlier, there are different forms. Potential means change of voltage, capacitance change, current change, and impedance change. And electrochemical biosensor commonly it should have two electrodes, mainly two electrodes. Among these, one is working electrode. The working electrode is made up of biomaterials or that is biorecepting materials combined with the nanomaterials. This is what we call it as working electrode. Depending upon the working electrode, it generates a signal from its ambient. Then we can use it. Like amperometric, there is a change of current. Potentiometric, there is a change of potential. And also not only this like sensor, the sensor is used in all other cases, like as I told earlier, optical and electrochemical. There are also other magnetic resonance imaging. The whole body can be imaged, scanned. Like we may be knowing well the ultrasonic imaging, radionuclide imaging. In all the case, we have to use some nanomaterials. Therefore, depending upon the material what we are using, its efficiency still can be improved, because you see here there are so many methods, scanning methods, imaging methods we are using. It is not reliable even still now. So if you want to have a perfection, the nanomaterial should be designed like this. The nanoparticles, how the medicine in the medicine it is used. Metal nanoparticles are used in antimicrobial agents in biomedical applications, as they have long-lasting stability and excellent biocompatibility. Metal or nanocomposite nanoparticle conjugated with the antibodies can regulate or increase the biocidal activities. Metal nanoparticles travels through the inner membranes, interact with metabolic pathways, and induce variations in membrane morphology when contact with the cell walls of the microorganisms. Here you see just a single nanoparticle. It is attached with some ligand. It is sent into the body. Then there are so many kinds, like it attached with the receptor. It has so many things. You say cationic surface. It can have some charges. The charge can react with the other biomaterials differently. Like this, hydrophobic domain. Some area may be hydrophobic. Some area act as a specific ligand receptor interaction. Therefore, single particle can be changed depending upon the case. As I told earlier, among the nanomaterials, the quantum dot is a very peculiar one because it is totally different. As I told earlier, suppose in the case of quantum dot, the electron is totally trapped. That is, electron is totally confined. So, the electron, its status is different. It behaves differently. So, it shows unexpected things, properties, depending upon the case. Quantum dots are uniquely different from bulk materials due to the confinement of electron-hole pairs in the particle. They have a large surface to volume ratio and antimicrobial activity combined with the luminescence. The luminescence is a main thing because it's depending upon the place, depending upon the size, its luminescence, the intensity or the wavelength is differing. Behaves differently, showing unprecedented tunability. They can perform diagnosis and therapies. For both the purpose we can use more effectively than the conventional methods. Whereas in case of conventional methods, methods for imaging and others, we are using some organic dyes to bind with the cells and tissues via ligand or receptor. Whereas the fluorescence intensity is decreased with the time. Suppose if you are using dyes, the intensity of the fluorescence is not constant. Moreover, it is going to reduce depending upon the time and also depending upon the environment. The intensity may be very weak. But instead of using quantum dots, intensity is more. Whereas the quantum dots are strong fluorescent agents under ultraviolet illumination, depending on the fluorescent intensity of the particle size. Therefore, depending on the particle size, what case, what material, what location we want to examine, depending upon the case, we can decide the particles, how much particle. Suppose here, if you want to send only very smaller particle, we can design it. The same material, for example, you see here Ag silver. Different particle size we can design it depending upon the case. Here we have to send only this much of wavelength, so this much of size we can select it. Like this we can decide. Size dependent fluorescence is uniqueness compared with the organic dyes. In MRI also, nanoparticles are proved to be efficient for imaging performances. Large number of bioactive molecules or antimicrobial agents can be incorporated suitably to specific organ or tissue of the human body if we are using quantum dots. Therefore, not only sensor, as I told earlier, the nanoparticles are mainly used in case of cancer treatment. Cancer is, as I told earlier, it is a very main leading disease. Causes for death in the world due to the lack of proper and efficient treatment techniques. In cancer treatment, different techniques such as radiation therapy, immunotherapy, surgery, chemotherapy, hormone therapy are available. However, they have limitations in terms of drug targeting and delivery. In this case, in addition, multiple drug resistance of the conventional methods are also limiting the therapeutic applications. But in this case, in the two cases, that is drug targeting and multi-drug resistance. These are all can be avoided if you are going to use nanoparticles. Nanoparticle-based platforms offer improved targeting drug delivery, incarbonated multitask formulation. Suppose a single quantum dot can be used for multi-formulation, multi-task, multi-cases. Single quantum dot can be attached with some multi-molecules or biomolecules. Therefore, we can target different cases, even a single point. This is what advantage because of the quantum dots. As I told earlier, among all the mainly metallic nanoparticles are used, like gold and silver and nickel and other metallic nanoparticles are used. Depending upon the case, we can use it, but mainly silver, gold nanoparticles are used. Comparing the gold nanoparticle, the silver is less costlier. Therefore, we can use it everywhere, and also it is a very good antimicrobial material. We can use it anywhere. Silver nanoparticles are attractive for antimicrobial, diagnostic, and therapeutic and sensor applications. It is also equivalent to gold in all other properties. Biomolecules such as DNA, RNA, antibodies, and peptides are used to immobilize on edge nanoparticles. They can be easily immobilized with edge nanoparticles, so that efficient detection and imaging purpose can be possible. The DNA, protein, bacteria, and virus cells are easily identified by edge particles. They can be easily identified by using edge particles. And also, the edge can be formed in different shapes. So that different shape means its properties also varying depending upon the target, depending upon the case. We can select the sizes, and the methods of synthesis can also be vary. So I think with this I completed my talk. If you have any questions, you can ask me now. Because basically I belong to physics and electronics, I cannot go in deep of the biosensor, but I focus some periphery, what it is, how nanomaterials are used under this.
Super, doctor.
So I thank you all for this chance and listening my talk.
Thank you, doctor, and thank you for your wonderful presentations in nano sensing.
Any other questions you can ask me now.
Definitely, doctor. If any participants who would like to ask question to Dr. Kathalingam sir, kindly raise your hands. If anyone likes to ask question to Dr. Kathalingam sir, kindly raise your hands. Sir, I have one question, sir.
Okay, sir.
Sir, if there is any possibilities to identify the yearly diagnosis of cancer using a biomaterials or biosensor, the nanomaterial nanosensing, if it is possible.
It is available, sir. There are a lot of work is available, but now I cannot show what. There are a lot of even research report is also available. Early diagnosis. It is only based on the nanomaterials. There are reports are available. If you want, I can send it later. But there are even I read some of the reports also. Even very low level, that is early diagnosis is possible nowadays.
Okay, sir. Sir, quantum dot is toxic to the human body if it is any.
No. Like but initially they thought like this. Even in any case, that is what we used to say is it is not too much of anything is not good for. We used to say like this quantum dot depending upon the case, but. In all other case, we are taking even iron, even ferrous, even gold, everything. Even our Ayurvedic, we used to take gold. These are all only even nano level. Even if we very older days, without knowing the impact, we take an even metal particles as a nanoparticles, but it is not very much harmful. Depending upon the case, it can change, I think, but it is not very much. But we have thought like this, the quantum dot may be dangerous, even nanoparticle may be dangerous like this. But if it goes in very small, like nano quantum dots, it is not very dangerous, I think. Rather, it is useful in my case.
Okay, Dr. Raymond, another question is, if the nano sensor is inserted into the body, what is the life, sir? What is the life for that?
Yeah, it is also another one, a very good question. Even just in my talk, I wanted to say, but suppose is here, everything can be produced artificial. Now every human things can be artificially produced nowadays. But everything for like a page maker and others, we can input some device, totally we can monitor it. But in case of life, that's what people are asking. Suppose in PageMaker and others, PageMaker means it needs some electricity, some current or electricity. For this, we are inbuilding some battery. The battery cannot continuously work, so that in order to change the battery or recharge the battery, we have to open the body and take the PageMaker or some other device like this if you put it inside. But nowadays it is not case. Even blood flow itself, that's what I might have told that piezoelectric generator, there are some pyroelectric generator like this. If we put any device, even heartbeat, because of its vibration, because of its movement, the cell can continuously produce electricity. Those electricity can be utilized. Only we have to think the materials contamination. If what material we are inbuilding, we are putting inside, it should not damage our human body. This is what we have to think. Otherwise, the source, battery, everything, we need not worry, because if we can inbuild, it can take energy, it can convert the body movement or blood movement or vibration or walking, everything as a energy that can be utilized continuously. Yeah, this is what my answer, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Now, Sweta Nagarajan, you shoot your question to doctor.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah, okay, please.
Sir, is it possible to use nanomaterials for artificial limbs, like prosthetic arms, and for people who have lost their hands and legs during?
Yeah. Nowadays there are a lot of work is available. Even artificial limbs continues. That's what even previous question I told. Artificial limbs, not only limbs, for every human part, we can produce it. You see, but it is not. It is not. It only as a physicist or chemist. It is a combination. It is nowadays the biomaterials means it should not be only purely biological. If we mix both inorganic and organic or biological materials, total different phenomena. Even nowadays, even skin human skin like material is also produced. So
Okay.
the limbs production is not a big problem. Now it is coming up. Already there are work is available.
Okay, sir. One more question, sir.
Yeah.
Can it mimic the function of a normal human arm? Like how?
Yeah, that's what only one problem I want to say. Even similar to the as a typical human-like machine, humanoid can be produced, because using except even thinking also they are giving it humanoid. The thinking capacity is also they are giving it, but we don't know how it can behave. But a human, the reproduction capacity and others, we cannot give it to the machine. But a machine almost similar to human can be produced. This is how we improved in material and artificial intelligence, everything. Even in future, nowadays even everywhere we are using it. Suppose in order to for delivery boys, Zomato and others, Man need not to go there. There is some machine, even it can fly and drop. This is how people are talking. But only one, in my opinion, only one difference, it can think its own. It cannot think its own. Otherwise, it is possible. Every part can be produced. Even artificial heart can also be produced. This is a report is available.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Doctor. If anyone likes to ask question to Dr. Kathalingam Madikalam, sir. If anyone like to ask question to Dr. Kathalingam Madikalam, sir, kindly raise your hands. Thank you, Doctor. Thank you for this wonderful presentation and your presence in BioYojana 2021 organized by Tanbio R&D Solution. We are really very happy to see you in these presentations. Thank you, Doctor. Thank you once again. Now, Soundarya. Sir, please, sir. Thank you.
No. Thank you,
sir. Now, Soundarya, you can give the vote of thanks to Dr. Kathalingam, sir.
Thank you very much, sir, for sharing your profound knowledge with us. Your session was full of valuable information on biosensors. Thank you so much, sir.
Yeah, thank you very much.